Hello, this is John Bowen, CEO of CEG Worldwide, and I'm bringing you my favorite segment every week, the Elite Advisors Profile and Success, where I have the opportunity to interview one of the top advisors in the country that CEG has the privilege of coaching. And this one's a particularly great interview because it's a very good friend and a top financial advisor that I feel like I've known for 100 years. And let me welcome to the set Gordon Bernhardt. Gordon, thank you for joining us.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me, John.
Well, you know, Gordon, you and I got together very early in our development and had a great opportunity to learn real quickly how much we're aligned in wanting to serve our clients well. And what I'd like to dive right in and have you share with me, you know, why you're so passionate about serving your clients so well.
Yeah, that's a great question. You know, I do love what I do, and I think to understand why I'm passionate, it's probably important to know a little bit more about my personal background. So, for example, I can remember when I was 8 or 9 years old, Dad and I were coming home from the fields one evening. Now, keep in mind that I grew up on a farm in Nebraska, and I was driving tractors when I was 5 years old. So Dad and I were put in a long day's work that summer day. So we were coming home on this narrow country road in an old beat-up pickup truck. And approaching us from the other direction was another pickup truck, and he waved us down. So Dad stopped, and we talked to this gentleman, happened to be a Native American Indian, and he told a tale of woe, and he needed some money to basically replace a chainsaw. And we didn't grow up with a lot of money. We were poor or lower middle class, but Dad reached into his wallet and gave him some money, probably money that couldn't afford to give, but that's how we were raised, to give back, to make an impact. And if I go forward here to more recently, for example, in 2004, I bought a Steinway piano, believe it or not, John. And Mom, growing up on the farm, my mom made my sisters take piano lessons, but since Dad and I were in the fields, I never had to take piano lessons. So I bought this piano in 2004, and I started taking lessons, and I was just plunking along, and I'd call her up every now and then, and I'd do a few, plunk the keys a little bit, and she got a kick out of it. So it was fun for her and I to connect on that level. But in 2006, Mom passed away, and the piano became a bad memory at that point. And I kept it for 2 years, but I quit taking lessons, and I didn't touch the keyboard after that. But 2008 comes along, and I just say, Gordon, you're not using this. This piano is a beautiful piano, and somebody should be using it. This piano needs to sing. This piano is like my mother. It needs to touch people's lives. And I was fortunate enough to find a church that actually had 3 different churches worshiping in the same building at different times, of course. And they actually had an old Steinway piano that had a broken soundboard. So they had this tremendous need, and there was a wonderful music ministry at this church, and I ended up giving it to them. And it's so rewarding for me to go there and sense that the piano given in Mom's memory is touching people's lives. So if you think back to when I left the CPA profession in 1992, I left because I didn't have job satisfaction and fulfillment. I didn't feel like I was making that impact. So I started my own company in 1994, and it's been incredibly rewarding given what we've gone through to help people make an impact, protect their legacy. And it's just, and my team and I love helping our clients reach their dreams and protect their legacy.
Gordon, thank you for sharing that story. I knew about where you grew up and some of the backstory there, but didn't know the piano story. And I've always thought of you as a really giving individual, and I know you are in your practice. And that explains so much of why you're so passionate about wealth management. We are a product of our youth and our parents, and yes. It is, and we can't get away from it, nor should we.
Yes.
One of the things that, we're talking about that passion for wealth management. What I'd like you to kind of share with me, what are some of the major benefits that a client working with you would receive, as part of this wealth management?
Don, I've actually interviewed over 200, business executives, and given the clients that we've worked with too, there's a common theme that they all have. And most of them would say to me, if I'm talking to them, that they have more important things to do than managing their money. So, it might be their family, it might be their customers, their employees, their, charitable interests. So what I really love doing, one of the big values is really freeing up their time so they can focus on the things that are important to them. So we build this trusted relationship. We help them address every aspect of their wealth management life, and now they live a richer, more fulfilled life by being able to focus on the things that are important to them, and knowing that we're working in the background to help protect their portfolio, make adjustments when necessary, and addressing things as laws change or whatever.
Yeah, and one of the things we know, Gordon, you and I know so well, is things are going to change. It's constantly, and being in the Washington D.C. area, it's not only political, social, economic, and that's really where I think you bring so much, that ability with your team to help your clients make smart decisions about their money so that they can have these great lives. Help me out with what type of clients are you best able to serve?
We work with probably three main groups of clients. Certainly, the professional, the business owner, C-suite executive is one of our sweet spots. People approaching retirement or in those retirement years. And the third group is women. Women love our consultative approach. So we have a fair number of divorced or widowed women, and they just love the fact that we listen so keenly to their needs and concerns and help them structure their wealth management life accordingly.
Gordon, you and I have had some really great careers. We got a little gray hair, but we're moving ahead and we're making a really big difference. And I'd like you to look back over your career and really share with me, what do you most value?
I'm going to mention this probably in two or three parts here. Certainly, I value what we've done for our clients. I value making that type of impact. In addition to that, I value the team. None of this would have been possible without an exceptional team here at Bernhardt Wealth Management. And, I value, again, what we've done, that impact we're making. And if I think back again, one of the reasons we've been so successful is because of the discipline. If I think back, growing up back on the farm, again, you and I have no control over the stock market, John. And no investor does, for that matter. But in growing up on the farm, we had no control of the weather. So if we were in the middle of a blizzard, a drought, or a hailstorm, you did what was necessary for the family, for the livestock, for your crops, or whatever, and you didn't panic. So during all the volatility that we've seen during 9/11, the tech bubble, the financial crisis, we stood shoulder to shoulder with our clients and helped counsel them, answer questions, kept them from making mistakes, and we protected their legacy. So I'm proud of my team and what we've done for our clients.
No, that's great. And Gordon, I know you are a hard worker, and as we're talking about the farm, I didn't grow up on a farm, but I needed money, so I can remember those summer days of stacking hay in the hot barn. And there's a lot of hard work that goes on. I was in a rural area, so I worked on farms in my youth a fair amount, and there's nothing more than that to see hard work and value that's created. Now, I know you're working really just as hard, maybe not picking up the bales of hay, but certainly making a big difference with your clients. When you're not working, though, what do you enjoy doing?
I'll mention it in three things. One is I don't have kids, but my nieces and nephews are important to me. So when I have a niece or nephew that graduates from high school, I bring him out, and we have the summer here. We go out on a shopping spree. I buy a camera. I put them to work in the office. So they get exposed to many of the things we're doing here and getting exposed to the Washington, D.C. area. So it's fun to have strong relationships with my nieces and nephews. My own hobbies and interests, I love hiking. I am an amateur photographer. One of my favorite hikes that I took my camera on was a year ago in January. I spent the night on the south rim of the Grand Canyon, and the next day I hiked down to the bottom, and 4 days later I hiked out, and it was just an incredible experience. So I love doing those types of things in my free time.
No, I've spent a bit of time in the Grand Canyon too, and it's very spiritual, and it's a long hike too.
That it was. I think I did 52 miles during those 4 days.
Yeah, I did it in a lot of hiking, but also a lot in the water too. So it was I might have covered more miles, but it was a little easier going with the current.
That's
No,
right.
I mean, we both, it's important to have those breaks. And, that allows us to kind of refresh and serve our clients well. And one of the things that, Gordon, you've been very successful. We've had the opportunity to work over the years, and you are one of the top financial advisors, in the country and certainly in Washington, D.C. area. And I'd like to share some of your experience, if you would share with your peers. And, if there were just one thing, I'm going to limit it to one, but one thing you'd recommend to your peers so they could serve their clients just as well as you are and do well by doing that, what would that one element be?
That's actually fairly easy because when I look back on how I started my career, I didn't have a mentor. I left the CPA world. Granted, I didn't share with you that I spent the first 2 years working for two different companies and hated it. But when I started my firm, I didn't have a mentor. And, the business owners that I've talked to, they've all stressed the importance of having a mentor. So if there's one thing I would advise, it would be to have a mentor, have a coach, have somebody that you can bounce ideas off of and, to help you, again, serve your clients better, grow your business.
Now, it really comes down to, as you said earlier, it's having a team, and none of us really can do a great job without others around us, and certainly having that mentor is so important. And I know you've been a mentor in your career to an awful lot of people, including your clients. So again, thank you for sharing this.
Thank you for having me, John.
Okay. Well, let's go out there and continue making a difference. All the best.